CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. It is day 3 of jury deliberations in the case against Scot Peterson. The former Broward school resource officer is accused of failing to confront the gunman at Stoneman Douglas. CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn is at the Broward County Courthouse with the very latest.
So far, they've already gone through 2 days of this. Now they're going into their third. But on Tuesday, they had a number of questions in court, including access to a hard drive that has 6 hours of surveillance video. They were given the password later. They also asked to see other visual aids. Now, the prosecution has argued Peterson was highly trained and ignored common sense to take action. Peterson's defense has called multiple witnesses testifying that they did not know where the shots were coming from to bolster what Peterson has said, that he couldn't narrow down where the shooting was taking place on the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas campus. Peterson is charged with 11 counts, including felony child neglect. Now, we spoke with former Broward Assistant State Attorney Maria Schneider. She says the deliberations actually haven't been going on that long.
The issues themselves are not complicated. He either went in or he didn't. It's all these surrounding factors that I think the jury is struggling with. And school administrators are considered to be, to some extent, in the shoes of the parent. That's an established theory of law.
Now, Peterson has pleaded not guilty. He could face decades behind bars if convicted. In Fort Lauderdale, I'm Jacqueline Quinn, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look outside, it is hot, and we just broke a heat record. Next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler says we're going to see some changes, so hopefully they're in the right direction.
Well, that all depends. That dry air that we've kind of been enjoying the last couple of days, that is moving out, but that dry air also helped the temperature reach 95 degrees this afternoon, breaking the old record set in 2020 of 94. But what it feels like, the heat index only 104. So with the more humidity coming back, that's going to push that heat index higher, but our temperatures will be a little bit lower. It has now dropped to 90 degrees, so yes, we're already starting to see the effects as the dry air moves out, a little bit more moisture starts moving in. So look at that. Now we're at 103. It feels like 102 in the Homestead area, but boy, Key West, heat index was up to 110 this afternoon. Starting to see a few showers develop now just to the south here of Miami-Dade, just north of Isla Mirada. These are sliding to the south, but you already can see the sea breeze starting to line up, wants to move in from the Atlantic, so that's going to be a boundary. Is there enough low-level moisture available for these little showers and storms to pop up? Our modeling indicates that yes, it will, so we're going to be watching that as the drier air is now heading out of here off to the south. That moisture will start moving in, and that's going to supply us with more fuel or juice for these storms to pop up starting tomorrow. So just a few expected this afternoon. Really, this is not going to be widespread at all, but then by tomorrow afternoon, already starting at noon, here we go with a few showers and storms popping up, more widespread tomorrow. Yep, look at this. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, now heading toward the coastal areas as well. By 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, they back off. We go to drier conditions again. And Friday, I think a little less storm coverage. I think they'll come in earlier and then kind of retreat back out of here by 6 p.m. So as we head into the weekend, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our temperatures are going to be hot. The humidity will be higher. So we're going back to the kind of stuff that we're used to. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs in the lower 90s instead of the mid-90s, so there's a little bit of a break for you. And our rain chances will be at about 50 to 60%, and that includes heading into the 4th of July weekend. And down to the tropics, here we go. Cindy is no longer, but there's another little disturbance off here to the east of it that the Hurricane Center is watching, but there's so much dry air out here, we're not thinking there's going to be much development. So here is your forecast as we head through the next 7 days. We're looking at highs in the lower 90s. Good chance for showers and thunderstorms clear into the middle of next week.
All right, it is brutal out there. Thank you, Cindy. Big changes when it comes to Florida's gun laws. And they're set to start in just a few days. CBS News Miami's Nicole Lauren has all the details.
Starting starting July 1, people will not have to apply for a permit, they will not have their background check, and they will not have to take an instructional course. But once again, just to note, gun owners, this is very important, they will still not be able to carry concealed weapons in places like airports, courts, schools, and other places where gun possession is restricted or banned. And open carry is still illegal in the state of Florida in most circumstances. So eligibility requirements still remain in effect in the state of Florida. So just to note, also some of those include being 21 years of age, a legal U.S. citizen, a permanent Florida resident. You cannot be an unlawful user or addicted to controlled substances, and can also not have a disqualifying condition. That includes things like felony charges, a misdemeanor charge, or an injunction against you. So I did have the chance to speak with Director of the Miami-Dade Police Department, Director Freddie Ramirez, who says there are, of course, concerns with a new law like this.
We always assume in any situation the potential there being a firearm, but now this adds that extra component. There's a component of education. And there could be misunderstandings between the community and law enforcement when responding to calls for service in terms of the role of that firearm in certain situations. That's why education is key for both law enforcement and the community with this new law.
And Chief of Police for the city of Doral, Edwin Lopez, also agreeing with Ramirez and noting that this will change the way police interact and engage with the public. Lopez saying that they will place a bigger emphasis on interpersonal training and de-escalation techniques. Listen.
A regular traffic dispute or a road rage incident or a dispute at a park, playing a basketball game or whatnot, now potentially can elevate into something a lot more egregious and serious because folks may be armed already. So as law enforcement officers responding to these types of calls for service or incidents, we need to be extremely aware and use precaution because we know that a situation may escalate really rapidly.
That was CBS News Miami's Nicole Lauren reporting. Again, it goes into effect July 1st, this Saturday. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. CBS News has learned the Defense Department memo on Iran is not part of the 31-count indictment against former President Trump. In a recording, the former president can be heard discussing, quote, highly confidential secret documents with aides.
According to the indictment, the recording is from a 2021 conversation Trump had at his New Jersey golf club with a book writer, publisher, and 2 staffers.
Yeah. See, as president, I could have did less. No, I can't, but this is
Trump can be heard talking about a document he suggests was a plan from Joint Chiefs Chair General Mark Milley.
He said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers. This was done by the military and given to me.
Trump pleaded not guilty to the 37 charges he faces and claims the indictment is part of a political attack to keep him from returning to the White House.
They even tried to have me arrested. I'm a candidate. I said, wait a minute, I'm a candidate. You're arresting a candidate? Yeah, because you're leading. That's why we're arresting.
Trump told voters in New Hampshire he could face more charges. As special counsel Jack Smith also investigates attempts to overturn the 2020 election, including a phone call Trump made to Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, asking him to find votes needed to win the state.
There could be others coming, like for a perfect phone call. Numbers will keep going up.
Raffensperger is scheduled to talk with investigators Wednesday.
Thousands of flights were canceled across the country this week. It comes as we approach a busy holiday travel weekend. CBS News Miami's Gabrielle Arzola has what we need to know from MIA.
Major storms and technical issues have caused thousands of cancellations nationwide, leaving many travelers spending hundreds they didn't plan on. At Miami International Airport, some eager flyers are being met with these orange words.
It was just a mess. Yesterday was a mess.
Nday Conyers lives in Newark and has been trying to get back home since Monday. After countless delays, the flight was canceled and she was stuck.
Everybody was stressed. Everybody was laying on the floor, tired.
And if that's not bad enough,
I was in line waiting to talk to her for 3 hours. 3 hours. Then they said that they couldn't accommodate hotel rooms anymore because the machine was down.
According to the tracking website FlightAware, there have been more than 2,000 canceled flights nationwide on Tuesday. Miami International tells me 88% of their departures are on time, but as we were there, we saw several flights to New York canceled due to heavy storms. This is what Newark Liberty International has looked like all day. Now, it's not only been a problem for travelers, but the CEO of United is speaking up. Scott Kirby came out with this letter to employees saying that the FAA has frankly failed us, blaming the Federal Aviation Commission for being too strict for stopping departure rates by 75%, when Kirby says historically they've been able to work through severe weather before. Tens of thousands of people have been affected and will continue to. But for now, people like Ende say they just want to go home.
If my flight gets delayed today, I might just move here at this point because I give up. I give up trying to go back home.
So before you come to the airport, make sure you check your flight status online. Now, if your flight is canceled, we have a load of tips for you on our website at cbsmiami.com. I'm Gabrielle Arzola, CBS News, Miami.
Now for this week's Miami Proud. It was a day to remember for dozens of local children at a local boys and girls club. It's thanks to a surprise visit from 2 sports celebrities and a Grammy Award winning artist.
Hi there.
Hi there. I watch football.
You do? Yeah. I used to play, now I'm retired.
He may be retired, but 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady is still surprising his fans.
That might be, let's see. That's pretty cool.
Tuesday morning, he, along with DJ Khaled and Super Bowl champ Odell Beckham Jr., made Miami proud, surprising dozens of kids at the Carver Ranches Boys and Girls Club, tossing footballs, playing the parachute game, and giving away tons and tons of fan gear.
Super cute.
From hats to T-shirts, hoodies, jerseys, and jackets, all this merch thanks to the generosity of Fanatics as part of their Fanatic Global Volunteer Day.
Well, look at the smile on my face. It's coming from the joy and seeing the kids see stars that they look up to. It's amazing. It really is.
The kiddo's so excited, this little guy grabbed the mic to say thank you.
I just want to say thank you for your sponsorships and your loving to your family. I love you guys so much. Please respect everybody in the country, America.
And while at it, had a few questions for this Grammy Award winner.
Why are you here?
I'm here for you because you are the future. You're the generation today and tomorrow, and I want you to know that we love you and you keep being great. And if there's anything you ever need, we're here for you. You know that.
A special moment these children will never forget.
It was unexpected, and it was, like as I said, it was really great. I actually met some celebrities that I have never seen before, so it was very unexpected.
I was hoping it was everything, you know, trying to uplift them, inspire them, motivate them, and let them know that they're the greatest.
Very cool. Well, not only was this event happening here, but Fanatics and their employee volunteers will give out more than 300,000 pieces of licensed apparel to underserved youth and families across the country. That's your Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Hope your day's off to a great start. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.